I've been to quite a few weddings in my time, but one that sticks out for all the wrong reasons was that of a relative in Nottinghamshire. It was a 150-mile journey, and by the time we got to the reception, we were starving. The food was served buffet style, and since everyone was gathered around the table at once, we decided to wait until the queue had died down. However, by the time we went up, there was hardly anything left. We picked up a few scraps, thinking they would bring some more food out soon, but nothing came. We ended up having our own little reception with takeaway fish and chips on the way home. It reminds me of a wedding that Jesus once attended, which he rescued from disaster. And it illustrates how Jesus can still bring something very special to our lives today. To appreciate Jesus properly, we must go beyond the manger and see him in his adult life. He became renowned for the amazing miracles he did. It might surprise us that his very first one was not the healing of a blind person or telling a lame man to get up and walk. It was winemaking at a wedding. In Jewish culture, weddings are one of the biggest parties of them all. They could go on for up to a week. But at this wedding, they ran into a problem. Mary, Jesus' mother, comes up to him and tells him that the couple have run out of wine. This was a disaster. It would bring a social disgrace in the family that they would never live down. At the venue, there were 6 large stone water pots, which could hold 20 or 30 gallons each. So Jesus told the servants to fill the pots with water. They hastily obliged and filled them to the brim. Then he told them to draw some out and give it to the man in charge of the proceedings. And when he tasted it, it was no longer water, but wine. In fact, he called the bridegroom over and told him that normally people get the best wine out first, and then when people have had plenty to drink, the inferior wine. But you, he said, have kept the best wine until now. When Jesus' disciples had seen this, they were convinced he was the promised Messiah, and they believed in him. But this miracle is also symbolic. You see, with all this wine, the wedding party could go on, and the guests could continue to enjoy themselves. In the Bible, wine is symbolic of joy, the joy that comes through experiencing the goodness of God. It describes it as the mountains dripping with sweet wine. As Jesus, the Lamb of God, brings peace, so Jesus, the winemaker, brings joy. He was not just helping a couple out of their embarrassment. He was illustrating the abundance of joy he had come to bring. He didn't come to take the sparkle out of life, as some people think, but to put it back in. Just think how much wine he produced. 6 pots containing 20 to 30 gallons each would have made between 120 and 180 gallons of wine. Far more than they could possibly drink, even at a wedding feast that could go on for a week. Jesus once said, "I have come that they may have life, and that they may have it more abundantly." We read also in the Gospel of John, "Out of his fullness we have all received." What is that abundant joy that he gives? It is the joy of having God's mercy and love poured into our lives, of being forgiven, and our relationship with him restored. It is Jesus giving us a new life and hope.